EL Reports is brought to you by Heritage Bank.
The headlines. British Council hosts Creative Hustle event in Calabar as Syrian Foreign Minister Walid al-Mualem fires warning at foreign forces entering Syria, and millions of revelers flood the streets of Rio de Janeiro for carnival parties. Nigeria solicits support from World Bank and the African Development Bank. In sports, Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa receives endorsement from the Confederation of African Football. Today on EL Reports.
Hello everybody and welcome to EL Reports. We're here to make your day as good as we possibly can. As always, you know that we bring you the most progressive, positive news. We're not saying bad stuff doesn't happen, we know it does. However, there's so much good news that goes unreported, and so here we are to report it. That's why we're called EL Reports. Sure you get EL Reports. Anyway, let's get serious. Why don't we take off with the news of the day? After that, plenty more to come.
In 2015, the British Council announced a number of events targeted at the creative industry and with the aim of strengthening the relationship between the United Kingdom and Nigeria. One of those events was the Creative Hustle event held in Cross River State. The British High Commissioner Paul Thomas Arkwright was present, and EL Reports seized the opportunity to ask him some questions.
So you're visiting the lovely city of Calabar. What brings you here?
Well, you said it. It's a lovely city. That's one good reason. Another is it's really important for me as the High Commissioner to Nigeria to see as much of the country as I possibly can. So I really want to explore the country. I want to find out about what the opportunities here are for British business, for culture, for strengthening the partnership and the links. Lots and lots of really good reasons, and so far I'm really enjoying it.
Now, one of the things that's also happening here is the Creative Hustle Workshop, which is part of many other programs that the British government has been working on with Nigeria through the British Council. Why the creative industry? I mean, why not agriculture or something else? Why?
On the creative industries, it's a particular area of expertise for us. Okay. There is a significant British industry in creative arts. Yes. There is here as well. I mean, you've got Nollywood, you've got the music, etc. Yeah. I think there's a natural fit. So when the British Council suggested that we should look at an art season, we should look at ways in which we could strengthen that partnership. This creative hustle, this way of bringing British expertise in the creative arts here to Nigeria to help them really develop that industry was part of that. I mean,
we've been very privileged to cover a lot of the events, and we have been wowed at how innovative and how inventive most of it is. What's your feedback, especially in relation to those goals?
I think it's really positive. People respond well to the UK in many different ways. I think people respond well to the way in which the UK has really developed its creative arts and the industry there. If you look at music, if you look at theatre, if you look at film, UK people, UK actors, producers are right there at the forefront of it. So I think tapping into that thirst, if you like, for the creative industries here in Nigeria and using British expertise to do that, it's had a big impact. And I know this week here in Calabar, the people who've been involved in the creative hustle have been really impressed. We want to take that forward. We want to give them the opportunity of going to the UK, learning more from people in the UK. So this is in many ways the start of it rather than just a one-off.
So lots of exciting stuff has happened.
That's great.
What should we look forward to?
Well, one of the things I'm looking forward to is our celebration here in Nigeria of the 400th anniversary of the death of William Shakespeare.
Oh, wow.
So there's a whole program related to that, including here in Calabar, where there's going to be a number of performances of Shakespeare's plays set in local contexts. Lagos, Abuja, and various other activities. I won't divulge all the secrets. But anyway, but it's looking promising, and it's of course Shakespeare is well known around the world, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to celebrate his life, but his works, because they live on in many different ways.
Nigeria recently held talks with the World Bank and the African Development Bank to solicit support as it strives to cope with low crude prices and weakening currency. According to Nigeria's Ministry of Finance, the country is planning to borrow about $5 billion to help fund a budget deficit due to a decline in oil revenues. The sharp drop in crude revenues, which is the country's main foreign earner, has led to the naira hitting record lows on the parallel market. Commenting on the situation, Bismarck Rouane, a Nigerian economist, said,
First first and foremost, is it a good idea to borrow? Yes. Is it a good idea to spend and fund your budget by deficit, thereby stimulating the economy and jump-starting it into growth? Yes. Is it a good idea, or is it efficient to borrow from the multilaterals at concessionary rates? It's an excellent idea. So all told, this is the best way to go for Nigeria. What are we going to use the proceeds of the borrowing for? Important question. The proceeds are going to be used to fund projects within the budget which have lifespans in excess of 1 year.
Nigeria's finance minister also said that the country was looking at options to borrow from the African Development Bank and China Exim Bank due to the unconcessionary interest rates. Commenting on this, Rouhani said,
"A deficit budget funded by concessionary loans from the multilateral agencies is prudent and cost-effective. In other words, you are borrowing at an average rate of 2% or 3% as against market rates of 12%. You're saving Nigeria 900 basis points, right? 9% on almost $4 billion. That is significant."
South African teachers definitely shared their unhappiness with the addition of Mandarin in the school curriculum. Hear them out. "Our culture and soul as a nation are not for sale. No international trade must undermine our culture."
It's time for a quick break now. When we get back, we'll find out what's happening in the rest of the world.